back to Tune In Tuesday here on Rogers Television. My name is Jennifer Clark, your host, and this is a show all about getting answers to your questions. One caller at a time. We're going to be doing card readings, a little Gen Zen, and again, we're going to be using the intuition of my guests. So today's show, so excited to have Laura Young, an intuitive numerologist and tarot card reader who used to be a reoccurring guest on Rogers Television on the Gen Zen show, back today to talk about the month of October. So numerology is considered a spiritual science, and I'm doing the air quotes for the empirical scientists out there. However, in spiritual circles, numerology has been proven to be a very positive tool, a very effective tool at helping us navigate life purpose, decision-making, relationships, job career strategies, and professions. So all kinds of questions can be answered with numerology. And I'm very, very happy today to have my guest, Laura Young, come on the show to talk to you about what the month of October has in store. So the 4 number is, we're universal number 4 for 2020, the year. The universal number for the year that we're in, 2020, is a number 4. 4 is all about deep excavation, foundations, family, home, building something new, but a lot of deconstruction for construction. So it's a heavy workload year, which no coincidence, we're having some very heavy challenges in the world as a global experience. Now, the month of October is a 5 number, pardon me. 5 is kind of the midway point, and it's all about change and transformation. It's all about not giving up when the going gets tough, perseverance, and it's all about making sure that we're clear on where we're going and what we want, so that we can really achieve the goals we've been building up all the rest of the year in the cycle. So I'm going to bring on Miss Laura to explain more, because she's the expert and I'm just a layperson when it comes to numerology. So welcome everyone on Facebook and on Rogers, the callers. I'm just going to grab Laura. She keeps moving up the the ladder because of all the callers we've got on our Zoom platform. Oh, there she is. And there's Miss Laura. Welcome back to the Gen Zen show. Oh, you need your audio.
Yeah, it went off again. I don't know why. Hi,
Yeah,
how are you doing?
You're looking good though. You're looking good. Just keep smiling until live TV catches up. So Laura, you, like me, started in corporate Canada. You were in finance, in concrete numbers, and now you're working in the intuitive, wonderful world of tarot and intuitive numerology. Tell us how you made that leap.
Well, I think I just got sick and tired of finance, but the reality is I've been studying all things metaphysical all my life. I started when I was very, very young, and I always think I was looking for the more. And I did find a lot of more, and so much so that I left finance about 18 years ago, and I've been doing this. And so it's a lot more fun, and it's my true passion. And yeah, I just really enjoy it. It's just something that I've always been very connected to.
Now, as someone who has had critical thinking training like me and you, I'm a risk manager by training, and yet I do this type of work too. We've left the dark side and we've changed. Why does numerology prove itself to you? Like, you obviously are a smart cookie. Like, what makes it work for you?
I couldn't believe the accuracy of the numbers. I tested them for years before I ever talked to anybody about this. I secretly, studied metaphysics in the closet, because in those days you didn't dare talk about this kind of thing. But I got to a point in my life where I was actually talking to my finance clients more about numerology than I was about finance. And I really knew that they were into it. I was into it. It helped me really dissect myself, to be honest. I could see the strengths and the weaknesses of myself, and it allowed me to work on some of those really weak areas and really help myself to be the person I am today. And I mean, I'm still a work in progress, no question, but numerology has really helped me to understand not only myself, but also these chunks of time that we go through. So,
right. So can we talk about that? Can we talk about the cycles?
Yeah.
Because what year you're in really impacts sort of the things happening to you.
Yeah, oh, exactly. It's just another tool that we can use to really help us skate through this time frame. I mean, these times are tough, and you're right. We're in a 4 year, and this 4 year is all about restriction, like you said, and it's all about building, and it's all about, the year is such a heavy year that it's affecting everyone in the world. And this is what I usually tell people that come to me in a 4 year. I usually say, look, it's going to feel like you're in a box, and everything you want's on the outside of the box. And so this is such big year. We've all collectively been in our own little boxes, isolated, so that Mother Nature could really rebuild her foundations. So ultimately, she can really support us again. We've done this to ourselves. This isn't an accident. And now we have to really look at all of our different cracks and all of our different foundations and use this 4 year to really repair some of the damage and approach some of the shadows and perhaps even addictions that many of us do have. So this is time to reinvent ourselves, just like Mother Nature's trying to do.
Yeah, like all the wounded behaviors. What I'm seeing in the 4 year for everybody is when you say, how did I get here? But then you go, wait a minute, how did I get here? Oh yeah, I did that. I didn't say that. I did do that. Yeah, this is how I got here, right? And so it's the unraveling of the Chinese puzzle. Like, how do I get out now?
Yeah. Exactly. How do we get out? You have to just live by the rules of right now, though. And, I mean, do the work. I laughingly say that if you work on the foundations and make sure that all the foundations of yourself are well set and you wear your nose off on the grindstone of life in a 4 year, you can have plastic surgery in a 5 year.
So, yay.
Yay.
Maybe. Now, month of October adds up to a 5. Midpoint. A lot of people can want to feel throwing in the towel, like the work is too much. I'm giving up. What say you to the 5, the month we're in?
Well, it's a long 4 year. It goes right to the end of the year, actually, and it'll probably bleed over into next year. But we're starting to feel some of the influence of the 5 year in October. You're right. And 5 means change, but it also means the poop can hit the fan. So we have to have loose hips and a bit of a hard hat on when we're in a 5 influence, and that's what it is. Some of your people are going to be in a 5 year, and it's going to be amplified because universally we're in a 5 month. But 5 literally means you got to skate hard in this very restricted period, and so you want to make any changes that you've been ignoring. And if you don't make them in a 5 month, actually you can get a slap in the back of the head. So you want to make sure that you make these changes, take the reins, take control, get down and dirty, do the work you have to do. This is a work year, and even though everybody is going to be in a different month, this 5 month is still going to hang over all of our heads.
Right. And we've got Mercury retrograde and a lot of planets in motion, Mars, retrograde. A lot of things are affecting a lot of people. So I'm interested to see what you have to say. You put out a wonderful free monthly newsletter. Let's give out your website so people can sign up for your free newsletter.
Yes, they can sign up right there, and it is www.yourdaysarnumbered333.ca.
Which I love.
You just go ahead and subscribe to my newsletter. You'll get it on a monthly basis. It goes on the first day of the month, and it's going to allow you to really use this month properly. Now, that said, we also go through a yearly influence, every one of us. So, what I'm talking about in my newsletter is a monthly influence.
Right. And so basically it goes from 0 to 9. Based on your birth date, simple calculation will tell you this is the stream you're in, this is what to pay attention to look out for the entire year. And since working with you, which it really has been about 18 years, like I think I met you soon after you made that leap. I've known you a long time. It's really accurate. And I know the 1 year, I want to say it was 2 years ago, everything was going wrong in my life. I didn't want to be on the planet anymore. It was my 50th year. Things going wrong at home, things going wrong in love, just like my world, I just said, you know what, I'm out. And I remember you saying, oh yeah, it's a 7 year, Jen, this is, can we talk about the 7 years? Because that's kind of seems to, of all the cycles, that seems to be one of the ones that's like, da, da, da.
Yeah, I actually see more people in a 7 influence than any other time, and quite often they're in different layers or levels of clinical depression. There's a lot of head stuff going on in a 7 influence, and everything that the human would label as good doesn't happen. So the relationships don't work out. Usually money is not there, but I try to always convince my clients that if they do the work, and they accumulate information, that there will be a wealthiness that comes to them by the end of the year. You know, it's a year of refueling. So in a 7, you cannot ignore self. It is a me year. So
Right.
I think a lot of doctors and counselors probably see people in the 7 year too, just because people are seriously reevaluating their life.
Yeah, like I said, I was like, yeah, I'm out. Like I've had enough. 50 years, you know, like take me back.
It's
So
a toughie. It's a toughie.
the good news is I'm no longer in a 7 year, but so again, we're talking today, just to be clear, with the callers and people who are watching us on Facebook, for the monthly, right? Your monthly, and how you calculate that is you do your birthday plus the month plus the number 5.
Right.
And then you reduce that number down to a single digit.
Right.
And that will give you your monthly forecast for October. We've got a couple callers already lined up. Miss Laura, are we good to go?
Yes, we're good to go. And we're going to do a little bit of a card spread too for each person if they have
Yes.
a question.
So everyone who I get to pick, we've already got a few people selected, gets, you know, a brief numerological forecast plus one question. We can only do one question because we want to get through as many people as possible. For those of you who are watching on Zoom and don't get selected, or on Facebook, not to worry. 10 minutes before the show ends, I'll be jumping in and doing a group card reading that will apply to everybody. All right. So Miss Laura, we're going to grab Daniele on the phone. Let's see, on the phone. I keep saying that from the old days of when I was at the studio. So welcome everyone who signed on. Hang on, let me just find, I know he's there. We talked to him. I know he's there. Welcome, Daniele.
Hey, how are you?
Good, brother. I haven't seen you in like 15 years or so.
You still look pretty. You haven't changed.
Oh, thank you. And you still look good too.
Yeah, I keep in shape. I'm keeping in shape.
Okay, so Daniele, you're in what number did we give you before?
5, I think.
Yeah, you're in a 5 month. So Miss Laura, go.
Hi, Daniele. Have you got a question to answer?
Oh, yes. What's your question, Daniele? Thank you, Laura.
Okay, wealth, career. Like, where am I going with my life?
Okay, you're being evaluated right now, Daniele. I can see, I don't know if you've got some lures in the water right now, but I think a part of it is that there's an education element missing. I don't know if it's going to be a job with a learning curve attached to it, but certainly if you haven't got any lures in the water, I would get some out there right now, because I think people appreciate your skills and talents. I think that you're like an artist. I think that you really have some great skills and talents that people can use. And the very first card that I lay down actually is called the 3 of Pentacles. And this is a card that is connected to success in the material world. And yet the next card that I put down was the Hermit. And you can see that he has a golden wand in front of him. And this tells me that there could be an education element or a job that you have to really step into that might stretch you beyond yourself and get that golden you. Is there some issues around your family? Is there some needy people, or are there some people that are in troubled water right now that are maybe taking a lot of your abilities away from focusing on the material world?
I don't know. I have an aunt that was sick in the hospital. That's all I know.
Is it something that you have to really participate in at this point? Is there anything that you can do to help her?
No, nothing right now.
Okay.
Let me ask something. I opened up a foundation for domestic violence and human trafficking about 2 months ago with 3 other partners. So
good for you.
Wonderful,
yeah.
Wonderful. Well, you know, if this is you taking your skills and talents to a high level, it's going to pay off for you, absolutely. And it sounds like really good work. And you know, what I just said to you about needy people, this card came up. And so it sounds like your foundation is actually looking after these needy people that are in this boat. And you're using your skills and talents to help them. So if this isn't your family, it could just be the collective humanity. And I would say, keep on doing your work. You're here to get people out of troubled water, to calm water, and to ultimately get them to the shore. And I would say, you know, make sure you sit down in the boat and you recharge your own battery, because this is a month of change. I know this has been a tough year for you, Daniele, but you know what? You're in a 4-year just like Mother Earth is. And so it's a little bit tougher. And so you may not get the rewards until we get into around March of next year. But you know what? Just keep plugging.
All right,
That's
Daniele,
right.
Thank you. And I'd love to hear more. Send me a private message about that.
Yeah, it's going. Hopefully it goes well.
Thank you, Daniele. Good luck with you and everything.
Thank you.
Nice
Okay.
seeing you. All right, next up, we've got Miss Joelle. Let's see if we can grab her. Thanks, Miss Laura. Interesting how the cards can talk about it personal, and then you make it directed to the question. The boat represented the people he's ushering through, right? I love that. Now, just a second, bear with me. I know Joelle's on here because, again, we've talked to her already. Welcome, Joelle.
Hi, Jan. How are you?
Hi, you're on with Laura. What's your question for Miss Laura today?
Hey, Laura. Just want to know how are you?
I'm good, darling. How are you?
I'm good. So just want to know about launching my business.
What number are you?
What number are you?
I'm in a 9-month.
You're in a 9-month. Okay, you might not feel this real urge to step forward right now just because next month will be a 1 month, and 1 is all about new beginnings. So if I were you, Joelle, I would get rid of any poop that's on your path, get rid of any projects, dot the I's, cross the T's, that kind of thing. Looks like the hand of God is on your side. You've got this Ace of Wands card, and wands represent your skills and talents. And so there's some falling leaves here, which to me, I call odds, they're blessings. And off there is the stable world. So you got a little bit of work to do, and it's a little gray as far as I can see, but it's really saying that you need to just keep building, keep working hard. You're actually in a watering phase right now. See how the High Priestess is made of water and she's got all these ideas around her head? And so, for you to maybe not see, some of the growth right now, I don't want you to give up. I just want you to stay strong and just know, you're in the same place as Jen right now. When you're in an 8-year, 8 is all about work, career, business, and money. That's the year you're in, but you're in a 9 months. So there could be some details you have to finish up before you're really going to see that seed turn into something substantial. Now, is there something that's a little explosive standing in the way? Is there an old foundation that hasn't, maybe a part of your business hasn't come down? Is there something a little bit explosive, a little bit uncomfortable going on in your life?
I'm thinking of making a move.
Well, I think that you need to, because look at this. Look at the foundation of this building. It's eroded. And so if it's about moving, if things have gotten difficult or tight, or there's some environmental issues around the building, perhaps it is time for you to exit. Now, the fact that you're in an 8-year, you can buy and sell property. You could actually move into a new place as early as, I would say, even November. You might change up again next year, at the end of next year. It might be a short-term move, but it might be something that eliminates this problem. It looks like there might be just a foundation that's a little shaky. Have you got some uncomfortable people living around you right now?
Yeah, I'm looking to move for love, and I have a son here that's not too happy with me moving.
Well, I think that, at this stage of the game, girlie, you got to live for yourself. So, think about it.
My life is not a democracy.
No, I know, but it's still, you got to water the plant called me too, as well as your business. So make sure you don't neglect that.
Thanks, Joelle. Good luck with the business.
Thanks, ladies.
Keep me posted. Yeah.
And just bear with me. We're going to grab Jean in a second. So Joelle and I are in the same cycle, right?
Yeah, you're both in 9 months, so that means she's in a year. So it's really good for anything to do with work, career, business, and money, just like you, Jen.
Yeah. And if we haven't seen it that way, what?
Well, you know what? There's a duality to each year, and the thing is, some people, they get the harvest, other people get the bankruptcy. So it's all about work, career, business, and money. And if you really want to have that harvest, you have to really, force it, push it, plant the seed. Law of attraction.
I know. 17 seconds. Jean, you're up on the show. Welcome to the Gen Zen show. You're up with Laura. What's your question, Jean? You just have to unmute. Hey, Jean, you just have to unmute. Okay, so Jean, you're still muted. Can you unmute Jean? I think she was in a
3, I think.
I thought she said 5.
Oh,
she was in a 5. So
yeah.
we'll just I can't get Jean on. I don't know why. She's hang on, let's try that. Yeah, I can't
Well, I'll just go off with what I have.
Oh, there she is. All right.
Hey Jean, how are you?
What's your question, Jean?
Good.
Hey Jean, what's your question?
I got a question.
Oh, no question? Okay, Jean, number 5, is that the number we determined that you are this month?
Yeah.
Okay, you're in a change cycle, but that still tells me you're in a 4-year, and the 4-year is the same as Mother Earth's. You know, it's very restrictive. You can't get away with anything. You got to work on those foundations doubly hard this year. Now, if you've done some work right up until the end of September, you should start being able to experience some changes. Have you had some health issues this year, Jean?
No.
Oh, that's good. You've been working at making sure the body is sound, the mind is sound, the emotions are sound?
Yeah.
Okay, good. This is what I would do this year. The card that I pulled up right now in front of me is called the Star. And to me, it speaks of renewal of self, renewal of faith, and to get your balance. You know, if you have not been kind of involved in the rebirthing of self, I would certainly focus on that for the balance of the year, because the 4 year is a long year, and it really is demanding that we work on the foundations of self. And of course, our most important foundation is health. So you can't get away with, you know, paying attention to that, because nothing else matters. But in every single area of your life, there could be a couple of cracks formed, and I would like you to dig deep. And for some reason, I'm thinking that you need to work on some strength. I don't know why. If you maybe have, are your legs okay? Are you feeling strong within your legs?
Only yesterday I had a bit of pain in my knee, but that's about it.
Okay,
But
well,
now and then it gets tired.
She gets tired.
oh, she gets tired. Okay, well, Jean, this is a year that you want to make sure you do the work to really kind of fine tune those foundations. And health, you know, because we are all getting older now, when you do not pay attention in a 4 year and you make sure the health is really sound, we can get a slap in the back of the head. It's very, very normal. My dear mom in her last 4 year had double shoulder replacements. It was a massive rebuild year. And, you know, those kind of things can happen. So you don't want to ignore something like a pain in the neck. You know, is there someone in your world that is actually a pain in the neck and it's being reflected in your body? Think about that. You know, I know that this work is actually going to pay off for you because of the card that I'm seeing in the future position, which is the King of Pentacles. And so in this card, the future's bright and you're covered in grapes. So it's like a vineyard all over Jean. But I want you to really put yourself first and look at any cracks. You know, if there's some cracks in the bank account, if there's some cracks in your house foundation, if there's some cracks in your neck, you know, maybe you need to go for a crack in the neck, you know, just to get you realigned. But this is a very important year for you to make sure that everything is solid. So you might feel very restricted while you're in this period, but if you play your cards right, you do the work to make sure all the different foundations are solid, then next year you'll be standing on the outside of a well-formed box. And there's a lot more changes and opportunities that come into play in a 5 year. You're starting to feel the 5 influence right now in this 5 month.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Jean. Be well. We have to move along to the next caller. Thank you. So, Laura, I did a funny thing. We got an influx of callers at 1 o'clock, and the caller number 3 was supposed to be Jean C.
Yeah, I thought it was the Jean I knew.
Because we both know the Jean C we were talking about, and I was like, this isn't.
No.
So, just because I want to respect Jean C, welcome to the show.
Okay.
Hey there, Laura.
Hey,
there's the voice you know.
This is the
Yes.
Jean I know. Okay, all right. I didn't know the other Jean.
What number are you, Jean C?
I am also in a 5 month.
There we go.
Okay, good. Well, you know, you could have, if you were listening to a little bit, I was saying there, Jean, to the other Jean, you're in the same cycle, which tells me that you're both in the 4 year. And so you want to make sure that you're, you know, working on those key foundations. Like, it's not a year of extravagance, too. You have to be practical, and you really have to look at those cracks in any area of your life and just say, darn it, I am going to get to work and I'm going to do everything I can to fix that crack so that it's not going to even get worse. Because if you ignored some of these key cracks, Jean, unfortunately, you'll get a slap in the back of the head next year. So we don't want that to happen, right?
Right.
We've had enough of those.
Absolutely.
Exactly. You know, I just laid down the cards, and it's so funny, Jean, that the very first card for the last Jean was called the Star, and the very first card for you is the Star. So it's this, I mean, what a coincidence that is, that we got 2 Jeans and they both pulled the very first card. So the Star to me speaks of like renewal and birth. So to me, it's like you need to get yourself balanced, you know, especially emotionally. I don't know if you've been having a tough time with your emotions, and even there's some healing that has to happen. The second card is actually the Two of Cups, which has a big emblem of healing over you and someone else. And this could even just be connected to your own healing, or it could have been an issue that's been going on with someone else in your life that needs to be healed. Are you in a place where you're hanging on tight to some money and stuff, Jean?
I'd say no.
Okay, well, in a 4-year, like I said, you don't want to be extravagant. It's not about frivolousness. It's more about, practicality and spending. And if this card is saying, hang on to your money in the short term, then don't make any major expenses until we get to maybe March of next year. But your question, I did not get your question from you. I apologize.
Well, that sort of maybe answers. I'm in the middle of packing and moving out of my condominium with the intention of buying a home somewhere in the country in the new year and opening a healing center.
Oh, good for you.
Wonderful, wonderful. So you are rebirthing yourself in some area, and
Absolutely.
It would be great, when you get to even January of next year, January right up till the end of, I would say, even May of next year, are going to be a key time for making radical changes. But because you're feeling this 5 month right now, you can start to incorporate the change in your life as long as you are making a plan, getting organized, not being frivolous, not being, extravagant. It's more about creating the foundation of something. So if you're in that stage where you're building something, this is the perfect place to be in right now.
And can I just jump in, Jean? From an astrocartography space, sometimes when I work, I see places in the world, and that's the science called astrocartography. So don't laugh at these choices initially. Winnipeg, Manitoba, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and something Prairie, BC. I don't know why I'm getting something Prairie, BC.
Oh,
and what I know about those areas myself is they're larger cities, still small. It's like Ottawa, like small town, but big, and they're all very, very powerful spiritual centers in Canada.
Thank you, Jen. And I really appreciate that. And when you were speaking, I had truth bumps in my body, so.
Yes. So I want to say maybe La Prairie. I don't know if I'm getting that. I'm going to try and Google BC. I don't know enough about the interior of it or where it might be. But just look at those areas. Keep abreast of news items, festivals, events. Check out, MLS online. Look at cost of living, quality of living. Again, my sense is if you are going to do that healing center, it's in a space that's new, it's emerging, it's not pre-existing. Do you understand? Like you're being a pioneer.
Absolutely. I just got truth bumps again.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I love bumping.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jay. Thanks,
Thank you, Jean, and I apologize for...
No problem.
Your name is popular today.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Jean. Good luck. So we've got Stacy coming up next, Miss Laura.
Okay.
So the cards also, Laura, can do timing, right? Like the I love tarot for that reason. Also can numerology. So let's talk about that. How can cards and/or numerology talk about timing?
Well, I really think that that's one of the main great things about numerology is the timing, that even astrology is not as good as timing as numerology is. And the cards for me, I kind of marry the two together and it gives me a better indication of the time frame. So I'm leaving both tarot and the numerology together. So it would be kind of hard to just explain how the cards work.
Sure, fair enough. It could be the number on the card. It could be the number of towers. It could be the wheels. Yeah, I get you. So Stacy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hi.
What's your question for Miss Laura?
I guess I've got a lot of transition going on. I'm just kind of wondering what you might see around that with moving, changing careers. And
what number are you? Did we give you?
Yeah, 3.
A 3.
3. Well, literally, Stacy, 3 is the number of rebirth and renewal. I have many clients that get pregnant. So you're kind of pregnant with yourself and all kinds of new stuff. And I would really ask you to maybe even send me a note and I will send you my life mapping kit because, you're pregnant with a bunch of stuff and I'd like you to really kind of clarify that and make it very visual so you can water it. So I want you to water all of those things so that you don't just kind of step back and do the dance that you've always done. So you're really at a place of renewal and healing. And you're healing from some stuff that maybe from last year had to do with relationships. And then let's look at closing these doors and taking those swords out of your heart so that you can move forward. It could even have been the last 3 years, Stacy. Have you got some people in the area of your family in the past that were in troubled water?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And were you responsible for them? Have you put a lot of effort into taking care of them recently?
I have, and then she did something legal that I'm dealing with right now.
Yeah, I need you to move away from it. You know what? You need to kind of almost, this is the same card I was talking about recently to somebody else. And it's like these needy people, you've got to drop them off on the shore. Then you have to sit down in the boat and you got to paddle away. You know, you have to use your skills and talents in a different way. And I think that everything is squeezing you to really move forward. The Knight of Cups came up. And to me, it says, put those wings on your head and sail through this and get over that troubled water. It's an emotional time for you right now, and you may feel still kind of a little weak in the knees, but know that if you really get yourself a little bit firmed up and support yourself, there's a new world in front of you, and you need to be invested in it, and you need to define what it is. You know, we all have a different definition of what abundance is. My third card is the Knight of Pentacles, and to me, it looks like there's a brand new life in front of you. And if you saw the card, I don't know if you can see this card, but there's a plant coming out of your head. And to me, that's ideas and clarity that are coming in the immediate future. And I want you to get that plant in that seed, get that seed in that ground, and I need you to water it. From what I can see, you've been watering other people, and it's taken a toll, and you need to really decide, well, you know what, I'm in a me year. I'm in a year when I'm pregnant with me, and I need to really get invested in the baby. And so I need you to work on you and kind of put everybody else behind you to some degree so you have more time for self.
Wow, thank you. That's very helpful.
Thanks, Stacy. Let me know if it's a boy or girl.
Thanks.
I see the color pink, if that helps you.
Lord help me.
It's possible. Anything is possible. Thanks, Stacy.
Thank you.
So we're going now to Christine E. If she's still here. Christine E.
She thought she might be able to she was going to go maybe.
Yeah, but I think she's here.
Oh, I'm here.
Yeah, Christine, welcome to the show. What number are you, and what's your question for Miss Laura?
I'm in an 8-month, and my question is, anything new in love coming?
On which? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Love.
Okay, well, this is a year for you to love yourself, darling. You know what? You really have to be focused on healing yourself. You're in a 7-year, and you're in an 8-month. So when you're in a 7-year, I do see more people in that influence than any other time. And, you know, what the human wants is all the good stuff. And unfortunately, a 7-year doesn't usually provide us with that. But it's a time for you to water the plant called me, to focus on, you know, the regeneration of your mind, body, spirit, and emotions. And know that later there is a time for that. But right now, you're broken. And so what we have to do is we have to heal you so that you don't attract broken. Because if you go into this right now looking for love, unfortunately, you're only going to get somebody that's still connected to probably some upheavals like you were involved in the last 2 years. Am I right in the area of love?
Yeah.
Okay, it makes sense that there was some problems that you need to, in the last 2 years, it might have been a little dicey. So what you need to do is probably just do some healing right now, and do get down and dirty right now this month, because in an 8-month, it's more about action. It's more about decisiveness. I call it the year of the warrior, or the month of the warrior. So you really have to get your vision and to really make some big decisions about leaving history behind you. Is your job in transition right now?
I have different jobs. I have my day job, and then I'm also starting a side business.
Okay, well, you know what? Whatever's coming, you will be recognized and you will be appreciated. And there's a very positive influence coming for you using your true God-given skills and talents.
So she's also a tarot card reader, Miss Laura. She's very good.
Good. Okay, all right. You know what? I should have known that. But
she's got a tight YouTube channel, Higher Heart Healing.
Oh, fantastic. Well, you know what? People are looking at you, Christine, and they think you are God's gift. And so keep on doing what you're passionate about. The 3 of Pentacles came up to me. That means success, material endeavors, success. That's in the future. The very first card was the Queen of Wands, which means stand up and sell yourself. You are the Queen of Wands, which means you have tremendous skill set. But right now, we have the 8 of Swords right now, which is a card that really speaks of kind of self-imposed bondage. And so the 8, there's all these swords around you. You're in an 8-month. But just continue. If there was a learning curve that you could actually jump on board with this year, and then next year is the year that the light switch goes on. As of February, you're moving into a year that's all about getting more solid in the material world, but you have to really water that seed right now. February will be key for you, as will June, November, and also September of next year. So this is a year for you to educate yourself and also try to stay as zen as possible, because it's not easy.
Yeah, Christine can do that. All right, Queen.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying on. Yeah, Christine was one of my graduates. So,
All right.
and she came to Hawaii with me 2 years ago. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? She's on my Facebook.
Yeah, we bonded over Mai Tais and whales and water and all kinds of cool stuff.
Lovely.
So let's see who's next on our list. So Laura, do you have some water you need to take a?
That would be a good thing. Let me do that.
Well, I'm sorry, because I'm stuck on Zoom right now. I'm stuck trying to get. Okay. Sorry, Sandes. I'm trying to reach Sandes. Sandes, welcome to the show, babe. Can you unmute? Hi, Sandes. Hi, Sandes.
She's not seeing the mute button.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, yeah, hi,
Hello?
there you are.
How are you?
How are you, babe? Sandes and I go to the beaches together. So, babe, what's your number and what's your question for Miss Laura?
Oops. So the number, I think it's 3.
You're a 3-month? Yeah, and what's your question?
Career.
Career. What's the question? New or you're going to get
New.
promoted or what do you want?
Yeah,
New.
well, you know what,
Something
Sonia?
new.
The Wheel of Fortune is spinning. I've got the Wheel of Fortune card
Can
down.
you hold up the card, Laura?
Yeah, the card is right here. So you can see that the Wheel of Fortune is spinning. Note, it's not the Wheel of Poverty. It's just that you're in a snow state. And, so, I mean, where do you want it to stop? I always think that, your angels are looking at you and they're going, we're not sure what she wants. And so I want you to water your wanting a little bit more. And even if you don't know exactly what it is you want, all the key components. So write them down. What is the ideal job for you? What would make you get up in the morning and say, I love what I'm doing? So, it's spinning right now because there's this just unsure energy around you. It's like you're looking backwards and you might have a bit of a knot in your forehead. And I just don't want you to trip yourself up here because the 7 of Swords is here, and it's saying that you need to get your vision of where you're going and less on where you've been. And also, let's leave the swords there. You know what? Those are your life lessons. You're just going to trip yourself up, and it's like you're running with scissors. And so I want you to just leave the scissors, leave the swords, and get more focused on what it is that you want. Now, in the future card, I'm seeing you, and again, no vision. So I need you to know you're a co-creator here. You know what? You create with how you think and how you feel. So we have to get that vision, get those ideas out there, and you have to be invested. In this card, it's like your heart is blocked to some degree. And I don't know if it's because of some relationship stuff that maybe last year was hard for you. And I'm going to even say the last 3 years. But last year, I think that you were in a place where you're sensitive and emotional because of relationship stuff. And what you have to do is really take those swords out and not bring them with you on this journey. You might be kind of stopping yourself here. Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah, so
are you in defeat right now, or global affairs? Because or is that the same one now? Do they rename itself? Are you in global affairs right now?
I hope I will.
Okay, so I'm getting global affairs. So can you start networking? Going for Zoom teas, like doing Zoom chats. Like that kind of thing. Starting to network. And possibly Treasury Board as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's spinning. It is spinning for you. It's wanting to know where you want it to stop. So I want you to just work a little bit more at getting your vision and even just making a list of all the key things you want that job to be. Close to home, working from home, getting paid well, working with lovely people, whatever. And then you can send me a note and I will send you my life mapping kit. Anybody out there that would like to really be involved more in creating their own reality using the law of attraction, I do have a wonderful kit that I will send to you at free of charge. You just have to send me your email. So you do that, and at least you have a great tool to help you get that focus that you need.
Okay, thank you very much.
And notice that card, Laura and Sandes, the woman was standing in front of water.
Okay.
So water's key for you as an element.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jen.
All right, my love.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Love to all. All right, we're going to grab Heather. Grab some water, Miss Laura, while
I am good right now. My whistle's
We're grabbing Heather. Welcome to the show, Heather. Unmute yourself, please. Hey, Heather. You're on mute. You just need to unmute. Just move your cursor to the bottom and click on the microphone. Heather, can you unmute, or we're gonna have to go to the next caller? I hate doing that. One more time, Miss Heather. How about, can you do a quick card reading? Can you do a cold card reading for Heather? Just pick some cards for Heather.
Yeah, for Heather. We don't know what her number is, what her birthday is.
No.
Okay, Heather has to definitely do some healing in the whole heart chakra, because look at this, Heather. You can see that we need to get some swords out that belong in history. You know, when you can get those swords out, I don't know if it's just from last year or if it's from the last couple of years, but that rain wants to clean you up and get you ready for the future. But you can see in the next card, the swords are actually out of your chest, and you need to really get a clear picture of what you want this church window to be. And to me, that's the future. And there's a lot more color there, but you need to really heal, and you also need to really define what is that to you. So these are key cards that really say that you need to get some mental clarity. Look at all these cups in front of you, Heather, and it's saying that there's a lot of poop in your cups. You need to empty some of that stuff out so that that cloud will dissipate and get you in a place where you're free of maybe this heaviness that is really restricting you on so many levels. And this could even be a health issue, but if not, I have a sense that if it's turned into a health issue, it's because of some old emotional stuff, your relationship stuff.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Heather. Hope you enjoyed that. Now we're going to jump over to Carrie, who I think is calling. I don't know if she's back in town or she might be overseas. Carrie H., let's see if you're still online. Welcome to the show, Carrie. Hey, Carrie, can you unmute if you can hear me? Hey, Carrie. We just need people to unmute when you come on the show. Again, you just move your cursor down to the mic. Laura, how about just a card reading for Carrie?
Okay, Carrie. All right, let me just do a quickie for you, Carrie, here.
Carrie H.
Okay, all right, there's the justice card came up, Carrie, so it tells me that there's some unfinished business you have to take care of. Now that sounds coming up as soon as you can really take care of that. If it's a contract, if it's a divorce, just eliminate it, you know, just let it out. The very first card I laid down is the Queen of Cups, and she's got a bunch of emotional stuff in her. So if you can close the door on this and get the lid off the cup and really, you know, speak your truth, that's going to help you heal and move on. To me, it's like the future is really rich. In fact, it's a vineyard. And when you get there, you call me, because it looks like a Cab Sauvignon or something that's all over you. I don't know. But to me, it just says that, you know, the future.
And she loves her cab. I know that. Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So do I. So you know what? Just just know the future is really rich, but it's like we have to close this door and eliminate this old energy that is connected to history. And it's connected to, I think, relationship stuff. You know, I think you need to get the lid off of some old residual poop that's in your cup.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Carrie. We're going to jump over to Jen G in a second. I just got to do some things here. So bear with me, guys. We're just looking for Jen G. And please, when you guys come on, unmute yourselves. Hit your microphone button. Welcome to the show, Jen. Hey, Jen, welcome to the show.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, we can hear you.
Okay, I didn't know I was going to get called on. I'm in a 1 month of a 9 year.
Okay, all right. Well, you know, the whole year is all about endings then, Jen. So you really have to look at your life and get rid of things and finish projects, you know, dot the I's, cross the T's. It's really time to put history behind you. And now this month, you can start to feel that energy. And in fact, it says in my document, the glimmer of a new idea, a desire to start over should start to be really coming your way right now. And so open new doors and get ready to really throw some new seeds in the ground for next year, because the whole year next year is going to be the beginning of a new 9-year chunk of time. And I think we came here to really kind of evolve enough that you can live a different kind of a 9-year. I don't want you just repeating history. Did you have a question before I lay the cards down, Jen?
No, I was just about to start my own business.
Okay, all right. Well, have you got the seed in the ground yet? Because I've got a card here which is called, you can see here, it's a page of pentacles, and that looks like money as far as I'm concerned. A pentacle looks like a coin, and it looks like you've got some really good ideas. And if this is a passion that you've been sitting on for a while and you haven't made the investment yet, get the seed in the ground. You can see in this card that there's an open field out there, and I think you're ready to go. I don't think you really have to do too much more research, but you know what? Maybe the time frame is holding you back a little bit, and I would have said to you, do not get that seed in the ground until at least October right now, and then all of next year you're going to see those little shoots coming out of the ground. So key times next year are going to be April and September, but the whole year is going to be rich for planting new seeds. Have you been doing a lot of research?
Here and there, yeah.
Okay, because where I see you is I see that you can't go back. We've got the Three of Wands here. It says that your vision is totally on where you're going, and I would just say you have to do a little bit more work to actually getting the idea in the seed. But to me, it's like you've got the right skills and talents with you. The number 3 to me speaks of new beginning. Now, is there some needy people in your world that are holding you back from watering your own endeavors?
Yeah.
Okay, well, can you get rid of them? You know, because these people are taking a lot of your time, you know, and you're here trying to balance them. You're giving them money, you're giving them advice, you know, you could be the mother, the caregiver, the teacher, the healer, whatever. But I want you to know that you need to balance. That scale to me says balance your care of them with really watering your own endeavors. And, you know, it should be easier for you to do next year, but I still would want you, I just lost the camera. I'm not sure if I'm still here or not.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, all right. There's no camera or anything here. I don't know what happened.
Just keep talking, Laura. You're good.
Okay. But anyway, Jen, it's so get those seeds in the ground now and then firm them up. If you haven't got the fertilizer till next year, that's okay, because all of next year will be a year where you can expect to see some of these things grow.
Awesome.
Thank you. Good job, Genji. Keep it green.
Thank you.
Super green.
Now, Jen, why did the camera go away? I can't see you.
I don't know, babe. That's on your end.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm, excuse me. You're still good with Rogers and me. So just smile and look good. That's all you gotta know. We're gonna do Sylvie Boucher. What's your question? And just 1 second while we get you. And what's your number? Welcome to the show, Sylvie. You just have to unmute your mic.
I see myself now.
Hey, Sylvie.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
What's your question?
Uh-oh.
Hey, Sylvie. We heard you.
Huh, she disappeared. Technology.
Yeah, and it's in my house right now.
Okay, so what's
Yeah. Oh, is the end of the year would be better than the beginning of the year, and I'm doing improvement in my house right now. So,
when will it get better for Sylvie? What's your number, Sylvie?
if I calculate right with my birthday and everything, and number 5 adding at the end, it's number 6.
You're a 6.
Okay.
So Laura, she's in a 6 month. She wants to know when some relief will come, like the rest of us want to know.
Unfortunately,
no, about my life in general, not COVID-19. That I don't care. I know.
No, I said relief.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, because you're in a 6 month, that tells me you're in a 5 year. So the whole year has been kind of crazy for you, and you really got to just skate through it, because it's got a lot of things happening. Things should start to settle down a little bit in your life this month, a little bit, but it's still going to be a little bit crazy. If you've been waiting for some money or something to come in, expect it by the end of the year. Next year overall is going to be a more settling period where you can kind of get comfortable with your life to a certain degree. But this is a year where that poop can hit the fan. And then sometimes we have to spend some of the year next year cleaning it off the fan. It's just the nature of the time frame. In fact, we did get a card in the now, which is the 5 of Swords. And so with you being in a 5 year and a 6 month, you can see this guy's looking back and he's looking at his life and he's going, well, that was a war. But this guy has won the war, but he's still looking at the war. So I would like you to get your vision away from the war and to really find a way that you can just sit down and take care of yourself a little bit. Does that make sense to you, that you need a break for you to refuel?
It does make sense.
Okay.
And I just registered for a course, whatever it is, called with the ADD Diva, starting at the end of October, to help me with my house and everything. So
that's
nice.
Perfect. That is perfect. You know, you're going to be in a 7-month next month, and you can see this card that I pulled up here. This is in the future position, and it just says you need to sit down or you could fall off the cliff, you know. So a 7 influence will come in November, and you need to be able to pass the wand to somebody else and to really, you know, alleviate some of the pressure on you, you know, because you've had a difficult time. Excuse me, I am so sorry for that.
It's okay. It's Oprah. Oprah's calling. Answer it. That happened to me on my live feed earlier today too. So it's a good time, Laura. We're busy. We got to wrap up though. We got to wrap up, dearest.
Okay,
so last comments for Sylvie.
Yeah, Sylvie, it just says things will settle down. You should probably be able to take a little bit of a relaxing period this month. Next month, you have to. Like, you know what? There's no way that you can continue with this very busy cycle that's going on right now. So next month, for sure, go to a spa, take the course. That's one of the best things you can do and refuel.
Thank you,
Sylvie. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you for your help.
Sorry about the phone call.
You know what? It's someone who's on the show calling for an appointment. So we're going to jump into our group readings. But Laura, before we do that, how can people find you if they want to book their own consultation?
Well, the best way is to go to my website, or you can just send me a direct email at lbaird@istar.ca, which they'll find on my website also. But you can actually book right on my website, and you can check me out, see how you feel. Certainly when you're there, subscribe to my newsletter if you're not somebody that is subscribed already, because there's lots of free stuff that I offer. Yeah, and so if anybody would like the life mapping, it'd be great for me to pass it off to you, because that's another tool you can use to be more involved in helping your life calm down a little bit more this year, because I know it's
Thank you, Laura. So hang on. We're going to do the group readings now. This is really for the people who didn't get read and for the many people who are watching on Facebook Live. So you get to pick number 1, 2, or 3, and we're going to go kind of quickly because we've just got some time constraints now because Laura pumped them out. Thank you so much for that, Miss Laura.
Thank you. I'm sweating.
What's that?
I'm sweating.
You're sweating. Take a breath. Take a breath. So for number 1, romance card. Look at that. No word about that. The word romance comes up for number 1. So for the single number 1s, this is a time where you want to pay attention the next 3 months to what impulses you're getting. Romance for people who are married or already attached could be falling in love with something. Again, a resurgence in a relationship or a passion project. So follow the love number 1s. Purification card comes up for the 1s. The sunflower. The sunflower is one of the most magical flowers you have in your garden in terms of healing, tahini, all the goodness. It's very holy oil. Research the power of sunflower medicine. It's a purification card. Again, things are about to bloom and shine. It's also the sun card in the tarot card deck as a symbol. And last card for the 1s is Shock of the New. Isn't that interesting? The woman's got sunflowers on her. These are the Sacred Rebel deck. Shock of the New, number 6. I would say in the next 6 weeks, between now and December solstice, perhaps this romance will kick in and be a pleasant surprise for the 1s. All right, going over to the number 2s. Lucky number 2, what do we have for the 2s? I'm using the Angel Answer deck from Radley Valentine, and the 2s get within the next few weeks. So this is a really defined timeline. Next few weeks, I'm getting sometime around November 11th, which is a big portal opening energetically for many people, the 11/11 portal. And again, well, everyone's getting love cards. Number 2s are getting romance cards. This is again a literal card for love if you're single. If you are already engaged, married, invested, it's about falling in love with a passion project or a person all over again. And last card for the 2s is seeing the true you. Again, getting reflecting, reevaluating, looking at your shadow, looking at your light, looking at what serves you, what do you love to do, following the joy, and turning away from the shadow. Last but not least is the number 3s. So the 3s, what do the 3s need to know? They get the compromise card. So there's some kind of decision-making happening. There's some kind of meeting someone in the middle, going halfway, making the effort. Gateway card comes up for the 3s. Again, the next gateway is 10/10, October 10th, or 11/11. 2 gateways I want you to research. Pay attention to the energy, the impulses, what you're being called to do, task, what you're being called to action on. Spirals of manifestation, again, it's dreams. It is insight from spirit. These are literal receiving things from the physical human world. Answered prayers is an answered prayer card for the number 3s. So what a great show today, Laura. Again, I want to thank everyone who's on Zoom and on Facebook watching us today. Any last words for the people watching? Any words of encouragement?
Stay positive. Keep your vibe up. You know what? Everything is made out of energy. So, if we all really work at staying positive, even during these tough times, I think it all helps. And so try not to live in a fear-based place, which is hard to do. I'm not saying this is easy in a 4 influence, but I really think if we can even fake it till we make it. I have a wonderful affirmation I'd like to share. Have you got a second?
Yes, go.
I would like everybody to say this affirmation and say it like a drama queen. Something wonderful is happening for me. I just want you to say that, and I want you to feel it. And I want
something wonderful is happening to me.
Wonderful is happening.
Wonderful.
Be as dramatic as possible. Get that energy out there.
Get that hair.
Just be positive and know we'll get through these times.
Yeah, and for me, it's the Access Bars questions. What else is possible? And how can it get any better than this? The same drama.
Love it.
How can it get any better than this? Arms open and receiving, letting go of whatever's happened before and taking in the new. So excited. Thank you so much, Laura Young. Again, people can find you on your website, yourdaysarnumbered333.ca, I believe.
Yes.
Or on Facebook. Again, she's offering her free life map kits to anyone who wants it. Please send her a note and sign up for her free newsletter. Again, this show's on every Tuesday from 1 to 2 on Rogers Television. Again, happy to have you back on. Please watch for the event page on Facebook. I'm just trying to think where I put them. Everywhere, really, because we'd love to have more callers with different perspectives and different points of view. If you want to be a guest on the show, please send me an email. I would love to have our community represented. If you do something cool, creative, constructive, spiritual, love to have you on the Gen Zen show to share your light with the world, because the world needs more light right now. So we're getting the close down. So thank you, Laura Young. Thank you everyone for watching. Again, when it's dark outside, we keep the light on. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks, Jen. Bye-bye.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Play 4 games of bingo from the comfort of your own home each Monday at 7 p.m. for your chance to win money from our $2,000 regular bingo or $5,000 super bingo night. Kiwanis TV Bingo, Mondays at 7 p.m. on Rogers TV.
Where did she come from? She's dressed like why she told me everything is gonna be alright.
Are you a woman experiencing abuse? Do you know a woman experiencing abuse? Help is available any time of day or night. Sheltersafe.ca is an online map that helps you find a women's shelter or transition house that meets your needs so you can live a life free from violence. Sheltersafe.ca. Help is just a click away.